First, Kalachinski needs to go to the Open. He just looks incredible with more weight.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So finally we got an update from the former Mr. Olympia and the current Arnold Classic champion, the Persian Wolf Hadi Choopan. So this picture was taken about 3 days back. So this awesome condition of Hadi Choopan is enough to tell any of you guys out there why Hadi is the biggest threat to the reigning Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford. Why he is the biggest rival of Derek in 2024. So both these guys, Hadi and Derek, they are on a different level. They have been ruling the men's open bodybuilding for the last couple of years. They have been number 1 and number 2. And from the looks of things right now, it seems like things aren't gonna change this year either. So looking at that physique update of Hadi, that's right chest and one of the best abs in the entire men's open class, or in the bodybuilding world right now. These are the biggest strengths of Hadi Choopan. And interestingly, the lack of density on chest and shoulders, plus the inability to show off the abs, especially in the abs and thigh shot. They were the biggest critiques for Derek last year at the Olympia as well. Now Derek has definitely made a lot of improvements. There is no doubt about that. But here is the fact. He isn't even close to Hadi Choopan in that aspect of the physique. And there are some shots, like the most muscular for instance, and also the abs and thigh, that Hadi Choopan is gonna win, no matter who he stands next to, including the champion. And same is the case for Derek in that back double bicep shot. He is gonna win that shot, regardless of who he is standing next to. So the way Hadi Choopan showed up for this year's Arnold Classic in Columbus, I don't think anyone is gonna dare say this, that his waist has started to grow, that his waist has started to look wider. Because it looked so streamlined at this year's Arnold, Ohio, because he was hitting that vacuum with absolute perfection. And Hadi himself also knows what exactly he needs to bring to the Olympia stage this year to take back his crown. And that is of course close the gap between him and Derek in that back department. While Derek on the other hand keeps on improving. So the Olympia 2024, that is again gonna be another close fight between these two guys. And I bet that is exactly what we all wanna see. So do let me know what you guys think. Can Hadi Choopan take back his crown? Or is Derek Lunsford gonna successfully defend his title? That is one epic picture posted by Jake Wood, the man who currently owns the Olympia weekend. So 3 of the biggest names in the bodybuilding world right now, not just in the men's open. Derek, Nick Walker, and Samson Dauda. They will be recording a workout together to hype up this upcoming Mr. Olympia. And that is so good for the sport. Not only is this gonna engage the fans a lot more, but it can also bring a lot of exposure for bodybuilding. So 2 of these guys are Arnold Classic champions. And the other one is the only man in the history of bodybuilding to have won the title both in the 212 and the men's open class. So I truly believe that this is gonna be really epic. And the fact that Nick Walker has got something to prove here, because he did not win that in your pro, the way people were expecting him to. In fact, the way he himself was expecting to win. It was so much closer than what people expected, just 1 point victory. And that is of course gonna play into the mindset of the other competitors, that Nick Walker isn't good enough for the Olympia 2024 title. But Nick on the other hand is really fired up. The Olympia prep has already started for him, and he needs to utilize each and every single day to the maximum if he wants to be a title contender for this upcoming Mr. Olympia, and more specifically, to fix the issues with his waistline. So last year these guys recorded a back workout with Samson Dauda and Derek, which was really great. So this year we have Nick Walker in there as well, which is always great, because Nick Walker always have this self-confidence. And whether you are a fan of Nick Walker or not, you have to agree, he brings a lot of excitement to the sport, and a lot of excitement to any event that he enters. So keep an eye out for this one. It will be released tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Marcus, well, you can be the best bodybuilder out of Germany, but start thinking about it, man. I'm telling you, you can hit an open show right now, wherever, this year. Start thinking about going to open. I see you beat these guys right now.
Did Bob Shikarello just said that Kalachinski can switch to men's open bodybuilding right now this year and start beating some of these guys in the open class? I mean, I respect these guys, but I have to say I disagree with that big time. That is just nuts. I'm guessing he did not watch the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing videos, where both Ramon and Urs were sharing the stage with the guys in the men's open. And the size difference between these guys in the open and classic physique guys, that is just way too much. The open guys are absolutely enormous. Look, We all want some of these classic guys to switch to the men's open bodybuilding. And Urs Kleschinski is certainly one of those guys. But saying that if Urs switches to the men's open, and all of a sudden he will become competitive because there will be no weight cap, that idea is just absurd. He still has to build a lot of density in multiple areas of his physique. And I'm not trying to hate on Urs. I like this guy a lot. But the fact of the matter is, he looks small and way less muscular in comparison to a guy like Fazi Wiesers, both at the Arnold Ohio as well as at the Arnold UK. His arms need to come up big time. And so does his back. He needs a bigger, wider back. And that isn't gonna magically change if he starts competing in the men's open. That is still gonna be the case. He still has to fix those issues. And anyone who thinks that these stubborn body parts, they are gonna start growing like crazy the moment there is no weight cap, they just aren't thinking right. I know classic physique is very difficult, but men's open is even more difficult. That is a very long and difficult road ahead. This is still the hardest bodybuilding division out there. So Urs can be a great men's open bodybuilder because of the age advantage that he has, because the guy is only 26 years old. So he has a lot of time on his hands. And just think about it from this perspective. Urs is top 3 in classic physique for the last 2 years. Even if he doesn't win Mr. Olympia in classic physique, he's still one of the top in his class and one of the most famous and relevant guys in classic. So based on all of these reasons, there is just no way Urs is switching to the men's open bodybuilding anytime soon, no matter how hard the media presses him. It was the year 2020 when Logan Franklin hyped himself up, where he was comparing himself with the champ, Chris Bumstead, and then he stepped on the Olympia stage, and he did not even make the first call out. And what is that quote? You must learn to crawl before you walk. And that is the perfect answer that fits here in response to Logan posting yet another comparison of him and Chris Bumstead today. So as per Logan himself, he's trying to build a better version of what the champ brings to the stage, which is perfectly fine. But there are multiple physiques ahead of him, whom he needs to beat in order to get to Chris Bumstead. And I have to say, it is kind of funny, because when Urs said the same thing, that he will be the guy who is gonna dethrone Chris Bumstead this year at the Olympia, almost everyone out there, including Tara Suffin and Brion Ansley, called him out. And Urs is a legit top 3 Olympian. So if we apply the same logic here as well, if we use the same lens for Logan as well, then I have to say he hasn't earned the right to say that. At least not yet. And who knows, maybe Logan will bring an absolutely outstanding package with Patrick, and he might shock us all. But will he be able to beat all the top 5 guys who are bringing the A game year after year? I have to say that is highly unlikely. Next up is Marcelo, aka Harsamdi, checking in at 286 pounds during this offseason. It is kinda amazing that how some of these pros gets totally irrelevant. They completely vanished from the scene, because that is exactly what happened with Harsamdi as well. So the moment it was announced that Harsamdi is doing the Arnold Classic, the predictions that were made at that time, and majority of the bodybuilding community thought that he is gonna be at least top 4. And some even had him as high as top 3. And it wasn't just because Milos was hyping him up a lot, but Harsamdi himself was using all these different angles to highlight his strong points, to only showcase his strengths. And we all know how these pictures posted on Instagram, how these are taken at the perfect angle, with the perfect lighting. And that can backfire if you are a competitive bodybuilder. But all that being said, Harsamdi has one of the best quad sweep out there, but his back is non-existent. And ironically, if we compare his back to the pros, it seems like he's still an amateur. Plus, he wasn't in a great condition at this year's Arnold. He was a lot better at his pro debut in Romania, where he was able to beat a guy like Nathan Tiesha, and also Muhammad Foda as well. And that was one of the reasons the whole bodybuilding world gave him so much respect, and so much hype as well. I mean, some guys even predicted that he can be as high as top 3. So, Harsamdi is determined to come back next year, with more size, with a bigger and a better package, and especially with a better back. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.